15 grand.
Is it loaded?
Yes, sir.
Well, then I'll pay the tip. What's wrong with you?
Give us one of the background robots that you're excited for people to see, because this is so visually dense.
In the mall, there was a robot that had a much bigger part in one cut of the movie that we ended up cutting out that we absolutely love. But I think he's only in one shot of the movie now. Maybe he's in two. And it's a boom box. And his name was Beats.
Nice.
And he's just sort of in the background as they're panning around, as all the robots are watching them enter the mall for the first time.
Oh, shout out to Beats.
Yeah, and he kind of spoke like a DJ, and he would have a microphone he could hand.
He's kind of like a hype man.
But like a cool DJ, right? Not like Morning Zoo DJ.
No, fun DJ.
Good,
He was like a party DJ.
He was like Flavor
yeah,
Flav.
yeah.
He was like your best hype man.
Oh,
So he'd
okay.
hype people up
Beats.
and then hand them the microphone.
R.I.P. Beats. I loved how Cosmo in the movie would shine his own show on the wall, because I love that self-confidence.
Yes.
And so I wanted to ask y'all, if you could pick a former project of your own that's like very close to your heart, what would you project?
Oh boy.
I'd say this, Electric State.
But I said former project.
I mean,
of
this
course
is-
you'd
this is-
say this.
this
'cause
is a
it's
former
awesome.
project.
It's former. We're done.
Oh, good point. Okay.
We're done with this. All right, what else?
Because
What
it's so
else?
sweet.
Maybe the pilot episode from Arrested Development. Maybe I project that. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll
Yeah.
go back and say, like, the very first movie we ever made together was a movie called Pieces, and it never got distributed. So that would be a nice one to
Oh.
project.
When everybody would just
Yeah.
grab the popcorn and watch and be like, holy shit, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How did these guys ever build a career?
And the career that you build as well. No, I feel like I've heard some folks talking like that this took a long time to produce.
Yeah.
And the leaps in technology were vast. Is that the case?
Significant.
Yeah.
It took about 5 years to make this from start to finish. We started developing the movie visually about 2 years before we rolled cameras. Because we had so many robots we had to create. We had a visual look we had to create. We had a world we had to create.
You had robots to cut out.
That's
Yeah.
right. There were so many robots that we figured we'd just throw some of them away. Too many robots in this movie. And then, our VFX team was incredible on this. They really created a seamless look for the movie, and it's photoreal.
I feel like I'm always really critical of
Yeah.
CG now since it's so prevalent, and when I can't see it, that's when you nailed it.
Yeah.
And I remember like looking at this and being like, Jesus, this looks
Yeah.
real to me. Like, are you sure this is Terry Notary?
Yes.
I'm not blowing smoke. Like,
Yeah.
this really looks good.
It
no.
does. I mean, they were painstaking, though, with the work, and they had 2 years to post the movie as well, which rarely happens. So all credit to Netflix for understanding the scale of the film
and having
and being
patience.
willing to be patient with the length of time it was going to take to execute correctly, which we wouldn't have got at a studio where we had a slotted date and we had to hit the date. And a lot of times that's why VFX turn out poorly.
Also, I think, what we were dealing with in those robot designs, we wanted to be very period faithful in terms of textures and the way the mechanics worked. And we would sort of decide, well, what decade was each robot built in? Was it the 90s or the 80s or 70s or 60s, et cetera? And we would get very specific. And I think because we were referencing a real period of time that had real design that existed and real mechanics that were unique to that time period, and sort of everybody being nostalgic for those textures and those mechanics that may not exist any longer. I think there was just a faithfulness in terms of what we all brought as designers to the detailing.
Now, would you say that there is anything that became possible that you're carrying into Doomsday?
Oh, many things. I
Yeah.
mean, I think our refinement of motion capture. There's new methods that are available now to help capture it on set. The tricky thing when you're working with visual effects is, if it's a green screen, we have an award-winning camera operator we work with named Jeff Haley. He has nothing to frame to other than a face. But when you start layering in on-set rough comps into the eyepiece for him, now he can actually do his job, and these are some of the advancements that are really enhancing the quality and look of VFX movies.
Hard to imagine these movies get more cinematic, but
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
excited.
see.
Fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed.